Summarizing is a means of checking in and demonstrating your desire to fully understand your client. This is particularly salient with adolescents who value being heard and understood. Additionally, summarizing gives you the opportunity to direct and reframe the conversation and to reinforce key aspects of what was covered. Summarizing should be done frequently during and towards the end of the conversation.
There are different types of summaries. A collecting summary captures the theme of the conversation and confirms active listening. A linking summary takes the theme of the conversation and expands it to other important areas of concern. And a transitional summary, which is similar to a reframe, also allows you a means of changing the subject when necessary. Here is a demonstration of a provider using a collecting summary in a school setting.
Yvette, I'm glad you're here today because your mother told me that you've been drinking quite a lot with your friends and that you actually wrecked your father's car a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, well, she talks too much. So I have a few drinks with my friends every once in a while. Everyone does it. And yeah, I was a little buzzed when I banged up my dad's car.
Thank God nobody was hurt. I do want to know a little bit more about how much you guys drink, though. When you say buzzed or a few, how much do you mean?
Well, if it's a weekend, we really get wrecked. I can usually down maybe half a fifth by myself, but if we go out during the week, I usually have a drink or two, because I gotta get up in the morning and I can't come home smelling like alcohol.
So it sounds to me like you're really cutting loose on the weekends, but still trying to keep it under control a little bit during the week.
Yeah, you got it. And that's mostly been working.
Okay, so you're drinking a lot on the weekends, at least a half of a fifth, and only a couple during the week. How long have you been trying to get this under control like that?
Well, this is kind of a new thing. Since my probation in September and the car accident, I kind of had to get my shit together.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I just want to summarize really quick. You've been drinking still really heavy on the weekends. You've cut back a lot during the week, trying to keep it under control, maybe drinking one or two here and there. And all this started because you got in trouble and had to go on probation and you wrecked the car. And now it sounds to me like you're kind of beginning to keep things under control a little bit.
Pretty much.
The student describes weekend binge drinking and an effort to reduce her drinking during the week with at least partial success. Even though the continued binge drinking is clearly a concern here, the provider is focused on reflecting an accurate summary of the student's drinking pattern while making it clear that he has heard about her efforts to date. Then the provider takes the opportunity at the end of the exchange to link the summary to the fact that the student has more work to do in order to get her binge drinking under control, but he does it in such a way that the emphasis remains on making sure that she feels that she has been accurately heard. Now let's take a look at how easily opportunities for summarizing can be missed.
Yvette, thanks for coming. So I hear that you've been drinking quite a bit lately, and your mother told me that you trashed your father's car.
Yeah? So I have a few beers with my friends every once in a while. Everyone does it. And yeah, I was a little buzzed when I banged up my dad's car.
Well, don't you think that having an accident like that is a little more serious than being buzzed or just having a few?
Look, I told you last time that I cut down a lot.
And I think that's great that you're making an effort to cut down, but just the fact that you were drinking and driving proves that your drinking's out of control.
I didn't say the accident wasn't a problem. I just said I've been trying to cut back. Just stay out of my business, okay?
This scenario is too common. Rather than summarizing and clarifying what the student had to say, the provider responds to his own concerns about the student's excessive drinking and driving. Even though the provider used some of the student's own terminology, she felt judged rather than heard and understood. The provider misses the opportunity to help motivate the student to see her drinking in a new light.